certain groups, especially right-wing ones, have become accustomed to complaining about cancel culture. They claim that progressive, left-wing online mobs go out of their way to find the character flaws and questionable actions of a person and bring them to light in order to ruin their reputation. It's believed that this is done because the people who are allegedly cancelled stand on the opposing end of the political spectrum, and progressives use the momentum to deplatform people that they don't
or at least
like
try to.
and tarnish the reputation
Often fail miserably, but
of those they're associated with. Now, just to get this out of the way, I don't believe cancel culture is a thing, and I
what do you mean? It's everywhere and everyone does it.
don't think that cancelling is really a thing. When information about a person surfaces and it causes damage to their reputation, it's more often than not the case that it's due to something that matters and has legitimacy.
We've gone from it's not a thing straight to actually it does happen and it's good. We've jumped just instantly.
We should be held accountable for our actions, regardless of who we are and how long ago they happened.
When that... I want to see this guy's take on, for instance, the guy who... There was some lady online who was like, man, I wish Trump had been killed, and just showed up to her shit-ass cashier job and was filming her. What do you think about that?
A lot of people like to complain about cancel culture, claiming that it's a petty sport that people online like to participate in without any regard for the damage that it does, implying that most people who get cancelled didn't actually deserve it.
Most people who get cancelled aren't celebs. It's smaller scale, non-famous people that you probably won't even hear about. It's shit that's not in the news. You find something and you fuck them into the ground. You make them untouchable in their community.
Some celebrities, especially
not their community online, their actual town they live in.
Ones over the age of 50, if we're being honest, even say that they live in fear of being cancelled even though they didn't do anything wrong. But personally, I can't help but think that if you're worried about being cancelled all the time, you probably did something wrong. While accountability is important,
Hey Salary, what do you think of surveillance, mass surveillance?
Some trends have arisen when it comes to people
What do you think about people who are worried about intrusion on privacy?
On the internet participating during an event where someone is being called out for their actions. It usually begins with a news article, tweet, or video that's well researched and is backed up by credible witnesses or possibly victims of the perpetrator. The story gains momentum because once again people are drawn to controversy. It gets engagement and spreads like wildfire with...
How many examples of this occurring has he looked at? Do you think it's less than 50?
Thousands, possibly millions of people chiming in with their opinions. Some voice their disgust and a handful will defend them using worn-out defenses like how what they did was a long time ago or...
Yeah, depending on what it was. If someone stabs a baby, sure. Let's say they did something that would deserve a punishment to the tune of, I don't know, being suspended from school for a week, and they never got caught while they were in school, but you catch them 20 years later. It was some like little thing, and it was a long time ago. What are you gonna do? Internet punish me now? I stole a candy bar.
Or that their actions are being blown out of proportion.
Yeah, but what if that's correct? What if that's true? It's often true. This guy doesn't follow the latest cancellation releases. He doesn't read the docs,
etc. Cancelling someone or some entity has sort of become an event. People wake up in the morning to see that it's happening again, go out of their way to inform themselves, and when armed with what they feel is enough information, they'll decide whether to join in. Some even go as far as to try and hunt down more information that hasn't been discovered yet to add fuel to the fire. This fire keeps burning until an algorithm tells you that it's no longer profitable enough for people to pay attention to and directs their eyes elsewhere. As the frequency of cancelling has increased though, it seems as though some people have developed a taste for it.
But it didn't happen though. Wait a second.
Whether it affects them directly or not, people want to know what happened, gauge the level of disgust from the crowd, and
You're saying it as if that might be bad.
and decide
You're certainly laying out a scenario in which fabrications might be incentivized.
if they should meet their level of outrage or
Yeah, didn't he say cancel culture is not a thing? Motherfucker, this sounds like a culture centered around canceling! You imbecile! I'm losing it.
maybe even attempt to inflate it. It's kind of a blood in the water situation. People have become drawn to it because if they join in, they can be validated by others for being angry.
Some sort of culture of canceling. Some sort of online culture of canceling. What might one call it?
The collective can feel powerful since they're being recognized by the world at large, with every
He's laying out the case that people are chemically addicted to canceling people while saying cancel culture isn't real. How does this happen?
single voice feeling important, capable of painting the public's perception of a person or entity. It's the allure of power and control, but at the same time, I'm not saying that their rage isn't warranted. Power has its appeal, and in a world where many of us feel like we have little to no power, we sometimes take what we can get. As people have learned what goes into a successful cancellation,
What is success? There's no cancel culture, but there has developed a concept of what a successful cancellation is. You're describing this as a group of people with like a discursive general will and denying that there's any sort of culture of it.
it's being used against people who may not actually deserve it as a means of expressing their
I have not seen this path before. It's not real. It doesn't happen. To it happens but it's good. To it happens and it's bad. What in the f is this?
dislike towards them. This is largely applicable to online figures such as YouTubers and influencers, where if they do something like express an opinion that some people don't agree with or are just ideologically opposed to a group, some will go out of their way to unearth information on them which some might find objectionable or
Bro, you're describing the thing you said doesn't happen and countered by saying it's justified. The thing you said isn't real and doesn't happen. You're describing this as being a thing that happens. This is the thing. This is the thing people call cancel culture on YouTube all the time.
some cases they might just fabricate evidence, and since the flow of information
Cancel culture isn't real. People aren't going after you just because of your ideological bent, the side of the spectrum you're on. But by the way, there's this huge new problem where people will even make up lies about you because they disagree with you and try to mimic justified cancellations. What the flying is this video?
on the internet moves so quickly, few will go out of their way to verify whether it's true. We see and react
Even in justified instances, they don't verify it. That's the culture, but the culture around cancellation. People hunger for it, don't even verify the ones where it is justified if you look. Brother, come on.
because we don't want to miss out on something.
Trauma and ideation. Just in general? I presume you mean suicidal ideation. But just ideation's fine.
Since I'm fairly open about where I stand politically and share many of my opinions about a variety of things, understandably, I've been met with some opposition. Because of this, I've had to deal with situations in which people have cherry-picked statements to criticize or recontextualize them in order to make them seem far worse than what was intended.
Sorry, didn't we have a big chunk where intent doesn't matter? What matters is how people take it, and they're as bad as it is based on that interpretation?
On a couple of occasions, I've had people who have an issue with me completely fabricate information about
Yeah. Hex, you're right. He seems awfully worried about cancellation here, like he said. Hey, if you're worried about it, you probably did something wrong, right?
me, like telling people how they've looked into my history and found something that will end my career and how they'll post it on Reddit. This isn't unique to me, but I've also had long-term supporters and people who support me on Patreon withdraw their pledges because they didn't agree with something I said in a video.
Oh, wait. Just because... Hang on. Yeah. Do you understand the flip side of that? Do you understand that You're not getting money because people think you're cool and think you're smart. They're giving you money because you echo what they think. If they withdraw money because you said something they disagree with, guess what that means about why they were giving you money?
Creators have access to exit surveys on Patreon where donors can state the reason why they're stopping, and on multiple occasions, I've had people say, sometimes in very cruel ways,
very cruelly stopping giving me money every month. Bro, if you've given me money and then you stop, I don't give a fuck what you say when you stop.
How they're pulling their support
Like,
because
okay,
I've said something that they didn't entirely agree with.
Oh no! Rickus XP, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Everyone fire for Salvo, please. Damn, why were you giving me money for agreeing with you? Were you paying me because we have the same opinion? Damn, you got owned by me repeatedly until you cancelled.
These have been people who've supported me since the beginning, told me how they admire me and my work.
They were lying. They were lying the whole time. They don't think I'm their special boy. This whole time I was just a mouthpiece for their ideology. You made money from them.
But all it took was one thing for them to change all that. Things that, in my and other people's opinions, aren't inflammatory, offensive, or without merit.
Sorry, that comment was not without merit, and therefore, your subscription stays. This motherfucker is criticizing people's reason to stop giving them money. This is painfully entitled. Hey, as I said it, there you go, Gank, yeah.
Financial circumstances change, and not everyone can afford
If you're poor, it's okay if you stop giving me money, but otherwise you better have a damn good reason. Cancelling people is almost always justified, but not unsubscribing from my Patreon.
monthly pledge to a
Holy what a freak. What a subhuman worm, man.
Content creator. Some people also just stop enjoying your content or don't have the time to watch it.
Justified.
And I do not begrudge them for that. For smaller creators such as myself, pay.
But if you unsubscribe for disagreeing with me, think about it. Think about it for 1 second. If they unsubscribe because you disagreed with them once, in a way, they were only ever subscribed to you because they agree with you. So you stopped providing them the service they were paying you for.
Patreon income is extremely important. Not only is it the place where I can earn more than YouTube revenue, but it's far more stable and reliable than it. Even $1.
Why am I being begged too? It's this thing as well. Don't make yourself. He's rattling a little metal cup. Don't do that. If you want money from people, don't do that.
Donation is worth more than 1,000 views. It's that valuable. For people to use it as a means to ensure that the content you create caters to their tastes and opinions identically, and to threaten your livelihood.
Your livelihood is their money.
If you step out of line, is frankly appalling.
You're appalling. You're a disgusting piece of living grease. Sludge, taken bipedal ape-like form. You disgust me.
I'm being more frank. Holding someone's income hostage.
It's not your income. It's only your income at the point they've already decided to give it to you. It's not your money until it's in your hands. Welcome to self-employment, you dumb bitch. You absolute demented, sickening retard.
Is also a form of financial abuse. So
I'm abused by my patrons who unethically stop giving me money. You are not a bird. You are not a dumb animal who's been fed in someone's garden a few times and then you think you can rely on it through the winter and they stop and you die. You are not a bird being fed in someone's garden.
If you're one of the people who use that method on me or any other creator,
use that method, the strategy. He agrees, so I'm going to give him money, and then when I take it away, I can pull the levers and get it back.
You should know that when you're being explicit about this behavior, you're causing psychological harm to a human being.
Cancel culture isn't real, except when you stop giving me money because of something I've said, you're killing me.
On one occasion, and I won't mention it by name because I don't want to revisit it.
Oh. Fuck. Get destroyed.
Omni/fed the streamer a €2 super berry. I gave 2
The
bucks,
berry!
not this guy.
Thank you, Omnislash. Thank you for protecting me from that financial abuse. Fergie, I will read it though. Don't worry, I'm not that mean. I'm not that mean. Let me go. That's really funny though. I have now stopped giving you money. Sorry about the abuse. It's fine. I'll take that psychological black eye.
Due to the trauma it caused, and I mean legitimate trauma. I had 20.
I think I'm as sickened as I can be by an individual on YouTube, but it keeps getting worse. I literally feel like I'm gonna burp and like get queasy.
And I won't mention it by name because I don't want to revisit it due to the trauma it caused.
Trauma.
I mean legitimate trauma.
It'd be an amazing twist if the opinion people withdrew their funding over was like him saying it's okay to f kids. Wait, would he consider it wrong? Like if your viewers are giving you money with every video or every month or whatever, and then the opinion, they were like, I'm not giving you money anymore, was like you saying, it's okay to f 12-year-olds. That be financial abuse? Wow, just because I'm not in lockstep with you, you're gonna withdraw your funding? You've caused me trauma.
I had 20 patrons withdraw their pledge, some who had been there since I began my page, because I asked people to question.
Uh-oh. What's it gonna be? Dun, 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 dun.
Their relationship with content creators.
Guess they did! Wow, you were successful. That's a bit of a self-own there, matey. You... No, the result was you were supposed to realize other people are manipulating you. You cancel your pledges to them and then give them to me. This wasn't supposed to happen.
It turned out that their parasocial connection with some creators was strong enough that what I said angered them, and I lost a not insignificant amount of my monthly income.
You didn't lose your monthly income. No, it's not your monthly income until you have it, brother. Your projected or predicted or expected monthly income went down. You don't have it till you have it. Right? Imagine if a guy at a corner store you stop going to starts bitching you out for like taking away his income by not buying from him anymore. This is yet again, this is an entitled bitch not understanding self-employment, owning your own business, being a sole proprietorship effectively. No, when someone pledges to give you money every month on Patreon and then they remove it, no money has been taken from you. You have not lost any money. Do you understand? I don't think he does.
Which I need to live on and pay for production costs at the same time.
Sorry, I missed the part where that's my problem. If all of you stop subbing, if all of you stop donating, that's my problem. Once I've hit a certain level of income doing this, that is not then my income every month. That is not my wage that you are then harming by unsubbing or not donating anymore. It means it's riskier. It's a riskier path to pursue, but you know there are chances of hitting heights that you're not going to hit in a warehouse. You're not going to have someone suddenly give you £1,000 in a warehouse, right?
For a creator with thousands of patrons, that can be an acceptable loss. But for someone like me and other creators like me, who's currently surviving on below poverty wages.
This is like there are starving content creators in the UK.
YouTube revenue and pledges while being unable to work in a regular job at the same time due to PTSD, it was devastating to me.
They're not your dad? They're not denying you like some sort of government program that they have to pay into?
Overall, I lost a fifth of my monthly income on Patreon, all because people got mad at me.
And you had that fifth of your income because they hadn't gotten mad at you and because you stroked them. You made them feel good about watching your videos or whatever.
And decided that it was important to punish me.
You got way more than PTSD going on, brother. You got way more than PTSD going on. They don't like you anymore. They disagree with you. Oh, I don't like this guy. He thinks this. I don't like that opinion. You've annoyed me. You've upset me. Hey, once you say something and it annoys or upsets someone who's giving you money because they like you or generally feel good about you, they probably aren't going to want to give you money anymore. In fact, if this is how you get your money, you should probably have already been thinking about that and deciding, do I want to compromise to make sure I don't upset people in that way, or am I willing to eat the loss that may come with it? And, potentially there's a chance that you won't have a loss. You might lose some and then gain more who respect you. It's a complex business, right?
And to be clear, this wasn't just patrons. It was also commenters, tweets, DMs, Discord messages, etc. It was from everywhere. I don't know if any of these patrons...
Don't say are watching. Oh my god.
Or commenters still watch my content, or maybe even hate watch it. But if you do, and I hope you know who you are...
They're probably coming right about now. You've given them an amazing treat.
I've wanted to say this for a while now.
He's going to say, I forgive you. Yeah, I already said it, Hex. It's going to be, I forgive you. It's hilarious if he says, I forgive you. And it is, if he says anything else to them. Like if he says, I hope you're happy with yourself, or something like that. I don't think I can any longer believe this isn't a character. Like this has to not be a real person if he says anything else.
I'm not angry at you.
There we go.
And I try my best.
I'm not angry at you. You're just an evil abuser of a poor starving child with PTSD who can't get a normal job.
To understand.
Damn, bro. I was going to subscribe to his Patreon, but, he's made that into a gigantic commitment, and I can't do it. He's put up a huge barrier in front of me giving his money, so I'm not going to do it. Guys, don't give him money unless you're going to do it for the rest of your life. Okay?
Where you were coming from. I really did. However, what you did and...
What you did?
What some of you said...
What you did! They stopped giving you money you have no right to.
Has left some psychological scars on me.
Financially circumcised on Patreon.
That will probably never go away. You also hurt my wife.
My wife? Hang on. What if in a twist? Wait. What if the twist is, having lost those patrons, he couldn't afford an abortion for his wife and he has a child now, and because of you, he has a kid. That's the way to turn it around. There are more of me in the world now because of you, idiot.
A bystander who didn't understand why people were so angry because she wasn't involved in this sphere.
You f***ed up online, you f***ed up with your business, and it hurt your wife. It's your fault. It's your fault. If it's such a big deal and your actions in the entertainment business resulted in people withdrawing support, it's your fault. Unless someone actually lied about you or something. Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like, as you said, people just disagreed with something you put out there. You won't tell us what it is. Kinda sus. Your fault. You fucked up. Self-employment. Welcome to it.
That morning, I woke up to find her crying.
I mean, she always cries in the morning when she looks at me, but this time it was different.
As she read your hurtful comments.
What? Why was she... Did you hand her your phone? What do you mean? What the... This... What the
Something I'll never forget and something I'll always regret.
Regret why? Did you show them to her? Regret. What do you mean regret? You hurt my wife. I showed my wife something and it made her cry.
Because I felt like I brought it upon her. Because of your anger, you made me feel like I was worthless. I felt bad because I couldn't be what you wanted me to be.
You're the parasocial one, dog. He wants to talk shit about parasocial audiences, but he is a parasocially infected creator. That's what we're seeing here. If your viewers are capable of doing this to you, you've got problems. There are plenty of genuinely terrible things viewers can do to you. You can get swatted and stuff, right? They can show up at your house and stab you. Real terrible things. Comments hurting your ego and sense of self? That's like a you problem.
100% of the time. And ever since then, I've truly never felt confident in my work because
You'd better support him. You'd better be nice all the time, or it will hurt him. If he was on the other end of this, if he was on the other end of what he's doing right now, he'd call it abusive.
fear that my career could fall apart.
Yeah, it could. Of course it could. Welcome to self-employment. Welcome to self-employment in entertainment. Don't do this. Be a behind-the-scenes editor or something if you want to do this and you're scared of that.
Because people like you are able to exert your power over creators in such cruel ways.
No longer liking you because of something you said and stopping giving you money.
I also know that there's a chance that you may feel just in your actions, regardless of what I say, and I'm not going
You may feel just in stopping giving me money.
to shame you for that, but I will ask you to contemplate why you feel just and consider why that might be problematic. I wish you the best in life, but you should know that your actions...
You caused serious harm to my wife? If one of you guys actually caused harm to Lucky Bee, serious harm to Lucky Bee, I would hunt you like a f***ing dog. Cuck bitch, what are you doing?
and words caused serious harm that contributed to the deterioration of my mental health.
This is reflective of the state of your mental health, not of the response and effect it would have from or on a reasonable person. The effect it has on you is not because of a quality of their actions. It's because of who you are and what you are.
And led me to revisiting the lowest point for the second time in my life. A low that was so potent, I didn't want to exist anymore.
I wanted to kill myself because 20% of my patrons deleted their pledge. Hey, Salary, you want to talk about abuse, emotional manipulation, so on and so forth? You are fully aware that many of your viewers like you because they agree with you. Right? Those people showed it. There are going to be plenty of people who feel some sort of emotional and parasocial connection to you even. You have now put out a video talking about the suicidal ideation as a result of them withdrawing their pledges. Do you think it's possible that you could be absolutely f***ing with a vulnerable person by producing this video, someone who may have possibly considered deleting their pledge, maybe because they need the money, but then see this video and feel like they can't because you've head-f***ed them? Do you think he thought about that even for a split second? Do you think he's capable of thinking like that? Or can he only think about issues like that when, it benefits him? Only in the light that benefits him? I wonder.
If you find yourself getting angry often, then I encourage you to work on identifying what makes you angry and why.
Unless it's me and you're giving me money.
Be conscious of how you behave when you're angry and do your best to control it. It's hard and it requires a lot of practice, but it's possible.
Sorry, I'm not going to take advice on emotional stability from a man who talked about killing himself over some people not giving him money on Patreon anymore. Damn. Okay. He got the pity bump on Patreon. Not much. It went up like almost $50. His Patreon earning is core to his ability to live? What are his views like? He doesn't upload jack all. No wonder he... Wait, what are people paying him? Wait, what does he do? Wait a second. £273 a month. It's monthly. What does he do? Does he just do these videos? You're getting paid this much for one video a month? Bro. This guy is crying that his entire livelihood, it's difficult for his entire livelihood to be making one video a month. Come on. This is sick.
So be well, take care, try your best. Thanks for watching.
You're welcome.
Sorry this video took a while, but life stuff.
Oh, this is a... Dog, you paid for this. This is your video for the month. Here you go, my patrons. Here's a video about why I'll kill myself if you ever unsub.